Okay. Um, but really, I think honestly, I should quit this, and you should become the new streamer person. You have much more of a streaming personality than me, from what I've understood.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you're far more likely to cuss, and you talk very briefly, and all your streams would be like 10 minutes long, and I think that's what people really want. I'm sorry. No, I mean, no offense to any other streamers watching this right now. Except for that one guy who was playing AC. So I got to share this for anybody who isn't aware of this. Do you remember the name of the guy, Pax?
nope. He was annoying though.
He was kind of annoying, yeah. But some random guy. Okay, so we're playing WoW last night, and Chris pops on, friend of ours, and he says AC is like the fifth most watched game on Twitch. Now, for those of you who don't know what AC means, that stands for the game Asheron's Call, not Assassin's Creed. AC always means Asheron's Call, despite what other people would have you say. And Pax and I are both like, yeah, whatever, sure. And then I go and check just because I'm curious, and he was right. I'm like, what the hell? And like 18,000 viewers are watching this one guy doing the Rytherin quest. Moyer Key, I think, is actually the name of the quest.
And PvPing.
And PvPing, and being kind of bad at it, if I'm being blunt. Um,
Well, he's one of those guys. Back in my day, I was the best in the server because I'm from Darktide.
yeah, he was kind of a jerk about that. I used to like PvPing in AC. Oh, you're fine, Gnarlix. You're fine. Gnarlix is one of the people who was like, hey! And I'm like, no, I'm waiting for Pax. Don't tell me anymore. Damn it. I don't want to know. Um, but yeah, so he was playing Asheron's Call, and he had 18,000 viewers. And at the one pan, I'm like, wow, that's great that AC is getting that kind of coverage and all that. And then Pax is like, how'd you say it? You're like, he's going to get a partnership out of this or something like that. I forget how you
Oh yeah,
phrased
that
it.
you got raided, and that one raid got him a partnership, I'm sure, just because of follows and views.
Mm-hmm. And then I got really, really sad because that one random jackass who's not that good at playing an old game who happened to get raided by who knows what probably got a partnership. God damn it. One of these days, except probably not ever. Real quick, hi Gnarlix, hi Brigwin, hi Chemic, hey Gribble, hey K, hey Shadow. So, which one are you doing, Foo?
Gadget.
Ah, I already did that one on this guy. I might join you anyways, though. I'm almost done with this one. Any thoughts, Chemic? Oh, I just realized we have no sound. Here, let's turn that on. There we go. As you can see, I just recorded a Babylon 5 video. I probably need to take this off because it's blisteringly hot here. But I like wearing a thick winter overcoat while sitting with the fan off at the giant... Well, I guess the fan's on with the giant lights on in 90-degree weather. I do have a story to share. This is for you too, Pax. I was going to tell you this anyway. So I talked to my grandma today because it's my grandfather's birthday. Happy birthday, Grandpa. And so I was giving him a call saying, hey, you know, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. He has like the opposite perspective that I do. I tend to think of birthdays as super important. Everyone else I know thinks the opposite. Like Pax over there, he only trades gifts with me because I give him something every year. And so he's like, God damn it, now I gotta get you something. Although this year I got him something and he hasn't gotten me something, so I think I'm winning this year. It's true. You can't deny it.
Shithead.
I bought him FF15, although it's been delayed 2 months. I actually got the email notification saying, sorry, your pre-order's been delayed, but don't worry, we'll keep the price. And I was like, oh, that's great. But yeah, I'm pretty big on birthdays. Another year of surviving this hellish world of filth and disgust is always a good thing. Hi, Secundus. I don't recognize you. Are you relatively new to my stream? You're right. I need to raise my voice, be goofier, shout more. I need to do more jump scares, and I need to have bigger boobs. I'm trying.
And you need to play Five Nights at Freddy's and Minecraft.
Yep, guys. That's what it's going to be from now on. Hearthstone too. And I've
At the
seen
same time.
at the same time, yeah, I've seen people stream Hearthstone, and some streamers are actually kind of interesting streaming Hearthstone. And then there's the other streamer, which is just and that's it. Like they're not saying anything, they're not commenting, they turn on the stream and play Hearthstone with a bad webcam. Actually, Chemic, I've already streamed League of Legends. That didn't work out well. I just had a lot of people come on and tell me how terrible I was at the game. Or is that normal?
Because you were probably legitimately terrible.
I probably was. The only MOBA I'm any good at is Heroes, and that really has a different formula than LoL. Anyways, I don't know. I think that the female main character not being the captain will work better for the show if we're all correct and it's about the Klingon War. Because if you're going to have a war story arc, you can't have it be about the captain. You have it be about the commander. We saw that in Deep Space Nine, right? I mean, yeah, I know Sisko technically got promoted to captain later on with the Defiant, but let's be honest with ourselves. He was always the commander. Ooh, that hurt. Damn it, Django. Stop with that. So what the hell was I saying? I was talking about... Oh, yeah, so, birthday. And my grandmother told me... Okay, I love my grandma a lot. She's an amazing woman. She's taught me many, many things about etiquette, politeness. She got me into reading in many ways. She's how I learned how to cook, back when I actually used to cook regularly. Yes, Kay, you can see it on the Lore Week, which is live right now on my YouTube. But the Zagma Sale YouTube. Anywho, so she tells me, and I'm not joking about this, in like glowing terms, that she's really proud of the fact that she defeated Google.
How do you do that?
Well, she was trying to log into something, and it required her login, and she didn't know her login because she didn't actually set that up. Her other grandson, my cousin, set that up for her. So she did not know. What? Sorry. I just got a donation, and that startled me. Hi, Myron. Thank you for the donation. Yes, she's superhuman. She's Superman. No, okay, so she couldn't log into Google. I gotta pull up my donation tracker now. I wasn't expecting a donation today. And, so she goes to contact, the online support for Google, and they're like, no problem. And, of course, I've been on that end of things many times, the tech support end of things. I'm sure you have too, Pax.
Yep, set up a whole office.
Yep. So, they're like, okay, no problem whatsoever. We'll go ahead and just tell us, your questions. Like, what's your original pet's name? And she gives the answer, which is the correct answer, I want to stress. But it's not what they have in their records. So she's like, and the guy's like, okay, well, what else do we got here? Maybe we could have, I think I'll do that. We could have, give us another device that's attached to your account. My grandmother doesn't even have a cell phone. She has a landline, which, as you may or may not be aware, you actually can't attach as one of those things, because obviously you can't receive an SMS. And, according to them, it's actually the wrong number, keeping in mind she's lived at the same house for many years, so that's actually factually incorrect. Then he's like, okay, well, maybe we could try, like, start giving me personal information about you, like your SSN and whatnot. She's like, I'm not giving you that! And so she just goes through this whole rigmarole. Now, I'm listening to her. She sounded genuinely proud of being able to defeat Google in this matter, because she did eventually get herself logged in. But I'm picturing the guy on the other end, because I've been that guy. And this woman's like, I basically refuse to give you any information whatsoever to verify that I am me. But it's me. Fix my password. Now, in fairness, it's, Grandma sounds like a 90-year-old woman, so she, I'm sure there was no doubt in the mind of the gentleman, but I felt really bad for the guy. Anyway, Secundus, welcome to my stream. I like to welcome my lurkers. Of course, English not being your primary language, that's totally cool. Lord knows I have plenty of viewers like that. But if you have any questions, comments, you want to just chat with the viewers, go for it. I like interacting with my chat. Unlike Boogie. Calling you out, Boogie.
He interacts with his chat.
He does as much as he's capable of, I'll give him that.
Because his chat is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I was actually watching a stream of his semi-recently, and watching him be absolutely terrible at WoW. It was quite funny. And, and he was, his chat was toxic, first of all, but was also zooming by at a rate that was difficult even for me to keep up with. And I'm glad I don't have people like that in my chat most of the time. I have sometimes, but, you know.
I wish I was bigger. I'm glad I'm not bigger.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the pragmatist in me would prefer to be bigger because then, you know, I would be more financially stable, and that is something that is helpful to be. But I can't deny that there would be downsides to it, you know. I'm not that idiot in the Disney movie who's like, I just can't wait to be king, and then all of a sudden everything's horrible because he didn't realize there's consequences along with benefits. Thank you, Samurai. I'm glad that you're fulfilling me. Where are you, Tanris? What stage are you at?
Yes. 3, 4.
Invite me real quick. I'll just zoom in for a quick end thing. Oh, goodness. So, I want to talk about this, too, with PAX and the stream both. Mostly PAX. You guys don't matter. Sorry, it's nothing personal. I've known PAX longer, okay? So, they had the... I really put this in quote-unquotes. No, I have not, Grey Wolf. Waiting on PAX. They had the Blizzard stream today at Gamescom, and it was one of the most vacuous streams I've ever seen. There was, like, no information actually given with a few minor subsets. It's like, what can you tell us about Legion? And then they told us all the stuff that we already know about Legion. And then it's like, well, what can you tell us about, you know, Diablo and where that's going? Nothing. What can you tell us about StarCraft? Well, they're adding Alarak as a dude. It's always good to hear more John Delancey. He was the John... Oh, you haven't played Legacy yet, have you, Pax?
Nope.
John Delancey. You know who that is, right?
Yep.
He plays a character in Legacy, and he plays an awesome character in Legacy. I'm not just saying that because it's John Delancey. But he is an awesome character. But he is also John Delancey. So more of him is always a good thing. So he's going to be one of the commanders they get for co-op mode, and there's going to get some other things for that. And then they talked about Heroes of the Storm news, where we're getting Alarak in Heroes of the Storm, which is awesome. We're getting a new StarCraft-themed map, which looks really freaking cool. Like, there's actually 2 maps, excuse me, from what I understand. You know, you're running around, and you automatically get nukes, but if you're killed, the enemy takes your nukes, and you have to take control of the nuke launchers in order to actually use them. And there's something about, like, doing something to build up your Zerg army and using it to destroy the enemy. It just looked really cool. And they're adding in a legendary skin of destruction, apparently. They're adding a new legendary skin for Kerrigan, which is going to be Mecha Kerrigan? I don't know how to describe it. It looks really cool. It's like Protoss Kerrigan. So that's cool.
Cool.
And then they talked about Hearthstone, and they, you know, teased that there'd be new stuff for that, which was semi-interesting. But yeah, no news. Everything about the Heroes of the Storm is the only real news that was given. I was really disappointed by that. I'm gonna turn that off. Now, so I wanted to ask. Good night, Django. I was going to ask you this, Pax, because I'm curious what you think. If they're actually going to announce anything else at Gamescom.
I don't know. That'd be cool if they do. I'd like to see that StarCraft 2 rumor come true.
Yeah, no kidding. For the,
StarCraft 1
Yeah,
and 2.
I know what you meant. For those of you not aware, there's a rumor about an HD version of StarCraft, which can mean a lot of things. It could mean something incredibly disinteresting, just an HD port, the FF10 hardly different version, for example. Or it could mean a completely redone StarCraft 2 with new maps and new stuff in the StarCraft 2 engine, which would be so amazing that I would buy that new for full price. No joke, I would do that. Just bam.
Alright, I'm switching.
Cool. I'm gonna buy some I'm gonna buy some items real quick. And then I'm going to switch to. I'm gonna get on Frozen, I think, for this. Not that you probably care.
I've got 400 of those nether shards. I need to buy a bunch of bats.
That market's gonna get flooded soon, you watch.
That market can be flooded. I'm gonna hold on to them for years.
Fair enough. There we go. And Tamazad is done. I mean, she needs to do the quest, the Broken Shore, but that's it. Alright. Yeah, no kidding. Carbot did a joke about how a Dark Archon had mind-controlled an entire army of like 200 food of all 3 units, like you do. I mean, we've all done that, right? And he was like, "Go forth, my minions!" And he's got this massive army, and then 12 of them attack. And then 12 of them. Then another group of 12. Whoops, wrong character. I'm still not used to Zalash not being a warrior. How long has it been? By the way, check it out, Pax. I got the music off of Kel'Thuzad.
Awesome.
Yeah, so until we Thug Squad it, I'm done with that. By the way, Bragwin, you might be recruited to the Thug Squad. Just a heads up. Hylisk, if you're watching this on the YouTube, you're definitely getting recruited to the Thug Squad. Chris, if you happen to be watching, you're getting recruited to the Thug Squad. Charlie, you're not watching, but you're getting recruited to the Thug Squad. And Third, you might be watching. You're getting recruited to the Thug Squad. So just a heads up.
Don't forget Sean.
Yeah, Sean, absolutely. Although he definitely doesn't watch my show. But yeah, Vel, if you happen to be watching, you're getting recruited too. Anyway, someone asked if I'd gotten any Warforged. Yeah, so last night, was it? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was last night. We were doing some invasions, and like the first invasion we did, I got 2 pieces of Warforged gear, and he got 1. And we got lots.
Way more than 1 now.
Yeah, I was just saying, we got lots and lots and lots of Warforged. Like they must have really, really increased the rate of that, which I'm okay with. Yeah, Thug Squad. So you see this achievement right here? The only music I'm missing for the Garrison Jukebox is Angelic. The way you get Angelic is you go over here to Stranglethorn Vale, and you win the Gurubashi Arena, which is a full-on PvP thing. That was very appropriate screams. Those screams are appropriate because that Thug Squad can that event can go screw itself. But if we get a Thug Squad, what we can do is we can wreck them and just have everyone there we'll be coordinating and against everyone else, even though it's free for all. And then we'll kill everybody else there, and then one person will say, "Okay, I will loot it this time," and then the next time we'll kill everyone, and then the next person will loot it, and that way we can get that very last music.
I've still got like 5 sheets of music I need to get.
You need to make a list so we can start knocking that out.
I hit that list every week.
Well, and if I just want to help you, damn it, come on! Nice, Samurai. Yeah, I noticed they released like an hour of FF15 footage today or yesterday. Like, we're sorry it's delayed here. Here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw it, because it was a millisecond, but when I logged in, I was in a flight path, and Khadgar's servant was there. And then the flight path kept going, so I'm going to relog really quick to make Khadgar's servant show up again. And thank you, Sergey. Although, let's be honest, I usually run the Thug Squad. This is when Pax makes fun of me. Come on, Khadgar's servant, where are you? There you are. Khadgar's upgraded servant. Though I am loath to interrupt your fight against the Legion, I must request your help in a matter of diplomacy. We face a grave threat and require the full might of Azeroth's people to overcome it. Well, that'd be me. The Horde must become part of the Kirin Tor once again. I'll agree with that. Some will not agree with this position. Well, Zawan obviously wouldn't. Please join me outside the Violet Citadel in Dalaran. We have repositioned the city to defend the Eastern Kingdoms above Karazhan. Yeah, okay, sure.
Greetings, hero.
Oh.
Word has reached me of your efforts
Voice
to push
acting.
back against Legion invasion forces. I am reluctant to interrupt such important work, but I could use your help in a matter of diplomacy. I fear I am about to anger an old friend. Dalaran has been repositioned to defend the Eastern Kingdoms. You'll find it over Deadwind Pass.
I muted myself so they could hear the voice acting.
Please join me here.
According to viewers, that's the only part that's voice acted, so I'll stand muted after that. You might ask, what am I doing in Orgrimmar? Well, I have a brain. Do you have a brain? Oh, whoop.
Nope.
Hang on, I got a message. Mom, really quick. Yes, I got to wish Grandpa happy birthday, comma, and I talked with Grandma for a while, as per usual, period. Heard some funny stories which I shared on stream, period. Hope you enjoyed your time at the pool, exclamation point. Sometimes this thing is weird. So I said, heard some funny stories which I shared on the stream. This says, heard some funny stories with your shirt on the stream.
Don't edit it.
No. There we go. Yeah, but Dalaran's right there. I've already flown up here, actually. Fun fact, they were saying in Blues, eventually Dalaran will be moved to Karazhan, but as Pax and I discovered, Dalaran's been here since, like, what, Friday?
Last Tuesday.
Last Tuesday,
We
yeah.
on our Demon Hunter.
That's right, that's right. We were roaming out here. We were going to Westfall, that's what it was. We were going to Westfall, and of course we took this path to get to Westfall, being Horde players. And, yeah, we ran right into Dalaran. It's like, whoa! And there's NPCs up there and everything. You could talk to them. A few of them say things like, we're in the middle of moving, and a few of them are, like, sick because apparently moving the whole island was very traumatizing for some of them. It's pretty cool.
One of them was stuck in a wall. Are you flying out there?
Yeah.
There's a portal to it in the rift. or the
Yeah,
cleft.
yeah, whatever. I'm almost there now. There it is. I kind of wanted to show that off, too. The pop-in. By the way, there's Black Rock Mountain over there. It's the big, pointy one. You can almost see the Twilight Bastion from here. If I go just a little bit more north, I can see the Twilight Bastion from Red Ridge. So here's the new Dalaran, for those of you who have not seen it. Obviously, I have, as I just mentioned. And as you can see, it's already kind of taken some issues from its maneuvering. It's mostly the same, but if you know Dalaran like I do, you can tell the differences here and there. A lot of...
Like the main citadel right here.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is, of course, extremely obviously different. But there's a few little minor details that are different and changed here and there. And, of course, little details, too. I want to show you this one thing. This is the one I knew most, of course, being a warrior primarily in Wrath. This area is actually surprisingly different in terms of its doodad layout and setup. So lots more of this other just random stuff in here. You can see there's a warglaive there now, for instance, and this big old candle is new. Stuff like that. And of course, as Norlix points out, and I think Pax pointed out last week too, there's no Ronin constantly saying, "Citizens of Dalaran!"
Well, that's because he's dead.
And yeah, as you talk to the NPCs, they'll say stuff relevant to this, which is a nice touch. Anyways, so Let's go do the
Go
quest.
show off the horde area that's completely abandoned and a wreck.
Oh yeah. So this is what used to be the horde area over here. It's still got a little bit of things, and for some reason there's a blight spreader there. I'm not sure what's up with that. The filthy animal is practically abandoned. There's just a few Kirin Tor guards here. Why am I still mounted in here?
Because it's not an actual indoor area.
Fair enough. As you can see, this place has been kind of wrecked in our absence. If you go up here... Oh, this place is indoors. You can see bits and pieces of where the PvP stuff used to be. And then there's this massive troll thing, which is new. I don't know what to make of this. This is troll siege weaponry. It even has a broken tusk.
It's because they're mad about Vulcan getting killed.
I can't imagine why. Hey, Furie, there we go. I can do words. I swear. And for some reason, so this is the place where you used to be able to buy Valor and Justice Point stuff. It's been turned into this. Not sure what those things are in the jar, but they look like brains to me, so... Brains bouncing around in the jar. Yeah, the trolls are leaderless, and actually if you pay attention, the orcs are leaderless too right now. I mean, Thrall's around and Sarfang around, but neither of them have stepped up. Oh yeah, here he is. Here's the guy that's in the wall. She's a recovery specialist, but he's been trapped in here for hours! And if you wait a minute, he'll talk about someone poking him from the other end. Hey, Gauri, what's up? I don't quite recognize your name. Are you semi-new? I always hate to say that, because I'm pretty good at remembering the names of my viewers, but... Yeah. Hey, Nothrazim, who can't hear me, apparently. Anyways, let's go talk to Kagger. Where he be? Hey, Kagger.
Gul'dan and the Legion must be stopped.
It seems we've moved Dalaran from one dark, gloomy land to another. I don't know, the Crystal Song Forest is pretty bright and awesome looking. At least it's warmer here.
Without you,
Oh, shoot.
Azeroth will surely fall.
Did I knock over my drink?
Did that shove you into my lair?
No, I talked to him too. The Legion's attacks will only intensify. We must do whatever is necessary to bolster our strength. I will propose we invite the Horde back into the Kirin Tor. To certain colleagues on the Council, this will be controversial. Oh my god, look at all those players.
Oh, I'm glad they de-rendered those.
Ah, thank you, Layering. Your presence is a testimony to the valor of the Horde. To some, that may not be enough. The Council's already assembled. Let's not keep them waiting. So we have Jaina, Ansarum, Modera, and Vargoth. I have no idea who this guy is, though. He's the only Archmage I don't recognize. Carlane over here. Anyone know who this guy is?
He's a Dreadlord.
Well, I mean, he does kind of look it. I don't even recognize that armor suit. I mean, this guy's in tier 5 lookalike. Jaina's Jaina, of course. She's in tier 8 lookalike. He's in tier 6 lookalike. This guy's in... And High Stars of the Ocean.
Knowledge is power, but
let's do this.
using it wisely is the key.
Thank you for all gathering on such short notice. Kadri, we don't have time to waste in these meetings. The Legion is advancing and the Horde arms for battle. Uh-huh. That's kind of the point, you twit. Then I'll get right to the point. For the Kirin Tor to fight at full strength, we need the mages of the Horde to join our ranks. Jaina, for some reason, says never. Jaina, we know the pain you've endured, but this is about... They obliterated Theramore. They left us to die on the Broken Shore. Again and again, they've proven to be monsters and cowards. I've made my case. With respect, I move for a vote. Very well, but consider your choice carefully. If you let those vermin back into the city, I will not be counted among your ranks when you welcome them. So, thousands of Horde mages or you? So, Dreadlord Do says aye. Oh, wow, Ansarum said no. I'm actually a little surprised by that. Modera and Vargoth voting for us makes sense, though. They've always been level-headed. Jaina, please, we are doing what's best for Azeroth. Stand with us! The Council is blind to the truth. When the Horde betrays you again, I really hope we don't, remember who warned you. Farewell. Seriously, if Sylvanas pulls up, Lich Queen thing, and then, of course, Jaina's like, aha, I frickin' called it, I'm going to be a little upset.
I like how he took her spot.
Well, of course he did. I mean, remember, she kind of took his spot, I guess, like 2 expansions ago, something like that, around Kata. Anyways. Jaina's reaction was unfortunate, but not unexpected. And as I talked about when I was doing that big lore discussion Sunday, I actually feel for Jaina. She has been through a lot of crap. And I get her perspective. It's just the fact that her perspective is wrong. And so I wish we could, like, reach out to her on a personal level and be like, look! Also, Pax, real quick, you see this turtle, my target right here?
Yes.
What is that model? I've never seen that. Or at least I don't remember seeing that.
I have no idea. I've never seen it.
It looks cool. Anyone in chat know what that is? Anyways. Though it was Garrosh Hellscream who obliterated Theramore, the only thing she can think of when she looks at you or any horde is her desire for vengeance. I hope one day she can overcome her hatred. But enough ruminating. Indeed! Nobody likes ruminations, right? We're going to cancel the ruminations right now. We must prepare the Kirin Tor for war. And that's the end of the quest. I thought there was one more quest.
No.
Oh, Bronn! Bronn! Frozen Sorrow, Khadgar. Oh, thank the Forge I found you. You won't believe what happened. Me brother Magni's back. Yeah, I read the comic too.
The answers are here. I can feel it.
Me brother Magni, once king of Ironforge. I almost did Stormforge. Got changed into a diamond statue at a grand Titan ritual. He stood frozen in the belly of the city for years. But I just got word he's up and around, saying he knows something about beating the Legion. Look, Frozen Sorrow, I don't know if Magni's crazy, or if that's really even him, but if there's even a chance he can help us. I'm told he muttered the name Ulduar, and that's where I'm headed. I'd be obliged if you and Khadgar were to join me.
Keep your eyes on the horizon.
No, this is my first time seeing this, Draculus. I was waiting for Pax to do this stuff. Are you ready to hit yes on that one, Pax?
Yep.
The truth is out there.
Mimiron gave me a teleport pad. Yeah, by the way, as I mentioned, Bran is actually now personal friends with the frickin' Keepers, which is kind of cool. I am level 100, White House. Follow Caretaker G Wiz? Really? Are you here?
Yes.
We must be layered. Whatever. Welcome back to Ulduar. The speaker awaits the in the Celestial Planetarium. Please follow me. It's a hospitality unit. The speaker? That's me brother Magni, you infernal contraption. I'd wager Ulduar is quieter than the last time you were here. Yeah, I was here like last night, trying to get them out. The Keepers have ordered repairs to Ulduar's infrastructure. Mortal heroes are proficient in battle, but tend to leave a mess. No offense intended. That's a fair point. It took weeks to clean up the banquet hall after... Hold it! You sense anything old, Khadgar?
Ha.
Really? Again? Why is this an again? Why is this still happening? Okay, these have some health. Holy crap.
There's a hunter's pet in my lair attacking my target.
That's funny. Yeah, these have some health. You cannot, Gowry. It is gone forever and ever. I know I say that's kind of callously sounding, but that's speaking as someone who spent literally weeks trying to fix the situation and failed at it. It's gone. There is no copy of it that still exists. I even petitioned YouTube personally to try and undelete the file. It didn't happen. It's gone.
What file?
The final episode of the Pandaria lore run, which is the one where I did Siege of Orgrimmar, which really sucks because there's tons of awesome lore in that episode, but whatever! Like I said, I already did everything I could. Uh-oh. No! Magni! We'll save you, Magni! Good thing I have experience with fell barriers.
Hail and well met, champion.
Bring it down. No, I do not, Furie. Kill the mage. Gul'dan wants his head. Inform your master that I've grown rather attached to it. Stuff like that is why I like Kagger. Oh, that's a new attack. I mean, it isn't actually. We actually saw this in Warlords, but it's a different graphic for it.
That's a Diablo 3 attack.
Yeah, but you remember they implemented that with that one Diablo 3 reference boss in Warlords.
Yep.
Really psychotic? See, that's funny, because I saw 2 comments saying that, and yet it loads just fine for me. So I don't even know how to deal with that. Magni! Okay, I'd just like to petition right now that when they implement the sub-races, or the cosmetic races thing, we get diamond dwarves. Who's with me? It's good to see you again, but why'd you leave Ironforge? Why'd you come here? I know you have questions, but they gotta wait. Time is short. She wants me to pass along an important message. The ritual that changed me body also opened me ears to the voice of Azeroth herself. She ain't a chunk of rock, she's a titan! Which I actually already knew from the book, but whatever. A titan? That actually explains a great many things. My own brother started talking to him to a diamond and started talking to a titan? There's more I got to say. Come inside the Celestial Planetarium. I'll show you the truth. Don't we need a key? Brother, I am the key. Oh yeah, sorry, I should show you this, because that's what's unlocking things. I actually agree with that, Gnarlix. The idea that Sylvanas was very antagonistic towards Garrosh. Don't forget that's also right on the heels of her revelation that she's screwed. You remember that with the whole, you know, if she dies, she goes to the worst possible hell thing? She's had some time to think about it since then. Yikes, I'm getting flashbacks of Ulgalon. The Constellar was just doing this job. Whoa, crap.
That which grants you free will. That allows you to persevere against all cosmically calculated odds.
Hello, Ulgalon.
You prevail where the Titan's own perfect creations have failed.
After you defeated the old gods, the Keepers were given the task of ordering my world. The Titans gave them 5 mighty artifacts, the Pillars of Creation. When their work was done, the Keepers sealed the Pillars away, but like so many relics, they ended up in the hands of mortals. In the hands of Mordor.
Take a drink.
Aye, Khadgar. The knowledge was placed in the care of the Guardian of Tearsfall, and remains the Reseer. Karazhan, of course! I read of those artifacts in Medivh's Ancient Chronicles. You must find the pillars. Combined, their power can seal the Legion's gateway to Azeroth. 'Tis the only way to save her. It's not every day the planet points me to my own library. Thank you, Magni. I'll go to Karazhan at once. You know, we were right there. Frozen Sorrow, follow me through the portal when you're done here. And what are you, brother? You gonna go back to Ironforge? Nay, Bron. She has other duties for me. But I'd be obliged if you stayed a while for a chat. I'd like that, brother. But I think my friend here has some work to do. Yeah, but why do it? You can chat. I mean, you haven't talked with each other for like 3 years in lore at this point. I mean, shoot. No? You don't want to...
You'll find me wherever the action is.
Whatever. Karazhan. Just... Hey, Karazhan. It's okay, I've already got the mount, guys.
There is much to be done.
Me too.
Yeah, finally. Magni's information was enlightening. It should prove handy to have a friend who has the ear of a Titan. You'd think that, but as I've discussed, the Titans aren't really our friends. They think of us as more like bacteria. It's time to head into Karazhan. Not that I need to remind you, but it can be a dangerous place. There are countless strata of spells woven throughout the tower, and interactions of the forces within can be unpredictable. Be on your guard. I'll join you inside. I need a moment to gather my thoughts. This place holds a lot of memories for me. Yeah, I bet.
So,
Farewell,
those
my
gloves,
friend, until we
plus
meet
1
again.
haste and plus 1 mastery. That's it.
Ah! Let me look at mine. Plus 1 haste and plus 161 mastery, but minus 160 crit. I don't have their appearance unlocked. Also, you notice the proc on it. You ready to go in?
Yep.
Let's do it. Good luck, Notherzem.
Nope.
Are we in the same layer? Let me rephrase this question. Are you in?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, let's go kill Ottoman real quick. Oh, never mind. He wants to go up here. I have an idea of where to find the tome discussing the Pillars of Creation, but getting there may present some challenges. We have...
Ottoman's not even back there.
Yeah, you're right. No one's here. I like the music here, by the way. We have much to do and little time to do it. When you're ready,
Gul'dan
we'll
and the
begin.
Legion must be stopped.
I've been away too long. I fear the tower has fallen into disrepair. Please pardon the mess. It's okay. I cleaned it up in BC.
Just get the earth in here to repair it.
Seriously. I remember the day I arrived, so young and nervous, sent by the Kirin Tor to study the famed Mage Archmage. Care to borrow some blinders? Other students have found them quite helpful for ignoring the visions. No, thank you. If I may ask, what became of the other students? I was not the first sent to study under Medivh. I was, however, the only one he accepted as his apprentice. So, it seems my young spy has arrived at last. That's Medivh up there, talking. Earning his trust took time. Cleaning the library wasn't a glamorous start to my career, but it taught me that to Medivh everything was a test. Preparation for a greater destiny. The last time I was here, I'd left behind a few safety measures. There are countless secrets within these walls, and many would stop at nothing to learn them.
Constructs.
Yeah, no kidding. Those constructs weren't here before, by the way. See these things? My safeguards have been altered. Keep an eye out while I open the way. That which has foreseen has come to pass. The circle nears completion. Sentries, attend to our guests. Arcane Protector shouldn't be this far down in the tower. What the hell? Axe.
Shouldn't be that weak either.
Yeah.
Stage 4, we are not.
I like how the sentry doesn't die. It just freezes in whatever animation it was in. Whoa, fell.
Just as the Great One promised, this tower's
Holy crap. Okay, that's one way to deal with that. You know, Dalaran's like right above us. Can't they help us out a bit? No? Okay. We'll just move on, I suppose. Sure.
That's kind of neat.
I'll help you out. I'm a warrior. I know how to do arcane runes. I may be the least qualified person to do arcane runes, but I got this. I like the ghostly broom, by the way.
Knowledge is power, but using it wisely is the key.
The wards! More sentries are coming after us. Fortunately, I have a few tricks up my sleeve. This book holds a spell that will take you to the library. Get going! And be ready for anything. Get going what? Like, I'm not sure what you want me to do here, Kagner. Oh,
Use the book.
use the book. All right. Ah!
Get it? Whisked away.
Oh, ha ha ha. Ah, memories. Of course, I did this like a couple days ago. Ah, portal.
Lord. How many times did we wipe in this room?
Oh my god, I know. I must defeat the agitated tomes. Truly, this is the greatest enemy I have ever faced. Literature.
We're mad because we always used to pick them up and use them.
That's true. Pissed off now. It's time we give that power back. If we're up to any hope of holding back the Legion, I need to get the sentries back on our side. You'll have to subdue the Guardians before my calibrations can take effect. No need to be gentle. I'm not sure if I'm capable of being gentle. I like the music. I don't remember if this is normal Karazhan music. I haven't played Karazhan with the music on since PC.
I do not believe that it is.
I don't think it is either, but thought I'd comment on it. I guess I could test that real quickly and easily because I still need transmog from here. And frickin' Terrestrian's illusion.
Wow.
Bastard. Meanwhile, my chat is doing nothing but talking about Star Trek. If it's not Star Trek, it's anime. If it's not anime, it's how Bethesda sucks.
Well, they can't write an ending to save their life.
Reactivating the sentries once I finish their adjustments. I'll reinforce the door and send the Guardians against the Legion. That'll buy us the time that we're after. Yes, Snarlex, once I'm 110. I have a lot of stuff to get in there after all.
And where?
Siege.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
I got Mount. Does the heirloom stuff still drop?
No. At least I don't think so.
Damn.
But there are 301 pieces of transmog I'm missing from Siege of Orgrimmar. And you can see the list right here. I love this add-on, by the way. I highly recommend this add-on to anybody who's a completionist about transmog. MONAR's Wardrobe Helper. If you're curious. And yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's just forgetting the crypt. It's not like you can even reach it anymore. Unless you mean the crypt you can reach, in which case, shrug. You can't stop us, mage.
Your former master opened the way to our victory.
I've really had enough of that demon. Tharzul, apparently. The knowledge of the pillars is here. We must find the tome. Oh, that should be easy.
I'll just be sure not to read any books here.
Yeah. Okay, there's a million billion books everywhere.
I like this book laying down on the ground to his right. That's like 3 feet long.
Yeah, it's really tall and thin, narrowish. That must be a pain to read. It's like, okay, and then you gotta like move it up a bit as you're reading it, and then you drop it back down again. Oh good, he found it, because I couldn't really do much. I guess I could have gone after the agitated tomes, but yeah. Oh, there it is. Noble Antiquities of Ancient Azeroth. Take the tome. The information it holds is vital. Yeah, I already did that. I don't seem to have it on me, but I took it. We have what we came for, but I'd be remiss if I didn't bolster Karazhan's defenses before I leave. I owe that much to Medivh, the good man he once was, not the pawn of Sargeras he became. Get that book to Modera's hands in Dollar. I'll join you soon. And thank you. Well, okay then. Loading, loading, loading. Apparently we're under attack by the Legion here.
That's what it looks like.
Shocker, right? Yep. That's full-on that is the invasion song playing, and we have Legion skies here.
You need something?
Yes, I have a book for you. Written by Elodie. That would be the first Guardian, for those of you who don't know your lore on that one. Not long after you left, the first wave of demons struck. We're holding them at bay for now. I'll keep this tome safe until we have a chance to study it. Good work in there. I'd like to delve into the libraries of Karzin myself one day. At least, I think I would.
Be careful.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the end of the quest for now.
Looks like it.
Well, they mentioned how only some of the quests, plural, were being unlocked. And with the implication that there would be more. Now, this is funny, because to my knowledge, this is all the quests that I was aware of. So the fact that there's more is good. At least we're theorizing there's more. And, of course, Dalaran is under attack by the Legion, because, I mean, what else is the Legion going to do? Just sit around and have tea? Oh, yeah, by the way, this wonderful thing, this new feature in the center of Dalaran here, this is the Chamber of the Guardian.
There is much to be done. Trust in yourself, Jin.
Oh, hey, Khadgar's in here.
Mm-hmm. That's my point, Gnarlix. I have the very strong suspicion they have kept some of the content off of beta, which is exactly what I would have done in their case. So there might be more of the quest, or there might not. We'll see. What do you think, Bex?
It'd be awesome if there was more.
Yeah, it would. Oop. Die! It's okay, Madon will come back, Bragwin. And then we'll all be saved. Hey, they finally got that gnome free. Oh, so one of the other things that was kind of neat. So, the Horde... Yeah, agreed, Figure. The Horde Bank, back before this layer that we're looking at right now, was completely and utterly abandoned. Just ransacked, right? And it looks like it still is. However, as we go to the other side... Oh, wow, there's a ship attacking, too. I didn't even see that. Those ships are huge, by the way. If you guys have ever actually flown up to one and tried to get the sense for the scale, they're not quite Star Destroyer size, but that thing is about as long as Sentinel Hill is across, to give you a direct parallel. It's pretty big. Anyways, back in the first version of this, there was, like, all of the gold and loot that they had stolen from the Horde Bank, yes, stolen, I'm calling it what it is, was all splayed out here, and they were trying to defend it because it had gotten shaken loose when Dalaran moved. Yes, psychotic. Sit down and drink a goddamn tea. So, we know there's going to be a quest that's like, would you like to go to the... Like when Legion goes live on the 30th, there will be a quest, probably here, from what I understand, where you talk to Khadgar and he's like, would you like to go to the Isles? And then you'll turn in that quest, and bam, you'll be in the New Dalaran. In the Broken Isles. It's possible that's the follow-up quest here. I really hope not, though.
And hopefully it'll have more than one portal.
Yeah, no kidding. This one portal stuff, I mean, I don't mind keeping my Hearthstone in Pandaria, but seriously? Give us something. We do know that every class will get a new Garrison Hearth type thing, aka something that will go to their class hall. And so that's cool. Which is especially cool. I'm not going to give away super spoiler stuff on that, because I'm sure some people don't want all that spoilers. But I've looked at several of the class halls, and they all look awesome. Probably the only underwhelming class hall was the Hunter one, really. Alright, so I did that. So I guess that's it. The end! WoW's over. Guys, game's dead. It's going free to play soon.
We beat the game.
We beat WoW. We did it. Hang on, this is the last boss right here, this guy. God, I like what they did with Fury Warrior. Fury Warrior is awesome. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong. Like, anyone who is like an enhancement shaman, just... pfft. Nothing. Alright, fine. Well, I guess we're gonna go back to the only thing that everyone truly loves about World of Warcraft. The garrison. This is the best aspect of WoW right here, I think. No, I kid. I'm actually... by the way... Wait, what's that? Okay, so I was literally in the middle of the sentence. You heard me, Pax. I was in the middle of the sentence about to say, I'm about ready to be done with garrison missions forever, and I just got a mission to get a pet I've never seen of or heard before. It's a 675 mission.
Yeah.
So, I'm almost done with garrisons forever.
I told you it was worth it to push.
Well, I've got all but like 3 guys at 675 at this point.
Get a Void Satchel and sell it and we'll split it.
Alright, fine. I'll keep pushing it. Ugh, sigh. I only poked at arms briefly. I didn't enjoy it as much as Fury. What am I doing? Right. 675. Yeah, I have 3. 3 people are not 675. Yeah, by the way, supposedly Third got a second Fell Spreader. Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I mean, it's givable, so
Yeah.
offer to buy it from him or some shit.
Yeah, I told him, dude, and he's like, he was just amazed that it was BOE, basically.
We still need to get one for Charlie.
Yep. Supposedly the rate of those would have been increased as of now. I don't know if that's true or not, obviously, but that's what they told me. Warmill, I think? Yeah. By the way, we don't talk about absolute virtue in my stream, because that thing is evil incarnate. And wrong. You might think, oh gosh, lore runner, or Arsh, or whatever the hell you call me. Why would you get rid of like 5,000 garrison resources on one vendor purchase? Because I just got like another 3,000 back. I am swimming in garrison resources right now. That's not an issue.
For reference, I call you dummy.
You guys can call me dummy too. Although you might get banned for it. I can't ban PAX, but I can ban you. Be warned! I wouldn't ban you. I'm not evil. Do you remember Absolute Virtue, Pax?
Nope.
That's that FF11 boss that took 8 hours of constant fighting to kill, and then they failed.
Goods for sale.
I never
or
paid
trade.
any attention to
Stay
11.
strong.
Well, I just told you why. Oh, that freaking game. I wanted to like 11. I really did. It was not willing to meet me halfway.
Yeah, I did too. I got to level 20, and
For Duratan.
I got my dual class, so I got to level 20 twice, I guess.
Yeah. Hang on, you thinking about 14 or 11?
11.
Okay, just making sure, because I say you did that in 14 as well.
In 14, I got to 45.
Oh,
Or
okay.
48 or some shit.
Yeah. Hey, Buzzdogan. I don't know, we've been live for... I don't know, an hour now. Excuse me. Ugh. Pardon me. Oh, hey, it's Khadgar's upgraded servant. Look, I already have a gauntlet. I mean, I'll take the quest, but I don't really need it.
Greetings, hero. Word has reached me of your efforts to push back against Legion invasion forces. I am reluctant to interrupt such important work, but I could use your help in a matter of diplomacy. I fear I am about to anger an
You know
old
what?
friend.
I wonder. I'm gonna go see what the beginning of that quest looks like on the Alliance real quick. You want to join me?
Okay.
Pretty sure we've done broken on all our Alliance characters, or at least I have. Yep.
Greetings, hero. Word has reached me of your efforts to push back against Legion invasion forces.
Where am
I
I?
am
Okay, I know where I
reluctant
am.
to interrupt such important work, but I could use your help in a matter of diplomacy.
Yes,
I
Cadger.
fear
I get
am
it.
about to anger an old friend. Dalaran has been repositioned to defend the Eastern Kingdoms. You'll find it over Deadwind Pass, just above Karazhan. Please join me here.
They pronounce Karazhan really weird.
Yep.
Karazhan. I've never heard anyone say it that way. And I've heard a lot of people say no, I'm screwing up. Karazhan differently. Of course, I've also heard Dalaran said very differently as well. Yeah, I'm probably not going back to FF14 until Pax does, and he's probably never going back, so...
Once I wrangle my account back.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, see this, guys? This is a weird bug with this transform mount. Every now and again it just... Yeah, like that right there. It's like stuttering as it recasts itself. It's weird. It's been that way since the Acclamation patch. Whoa! Suddenly music. Explore Deadwind Pass. The same thing that happened to mine, Samurai. Pax, why don't you explain it?
I unsubbed before actually paying for a month, so they locked it.
Yep. And we're not the only ones who's had this issue, by the way. This is a semi-common problem they've had. Am I fully upgraded on her? Yeah, I am, okay. And she even has 2 one-handers, so yeah, she's ready to go. Oh, right. Cadger's over here. I think...
Goddamn giant.
Hailed and well met, champion.
Giant Draenei. I think it's far more likely Sargeras is missing or absent than it is he is dead. You don't kill a character like that off camera. Why is that, Gnarlex? Speaking of which, I can no longer solo Halion. So, that's fun.
Gul'dan and the Legion
Why is that?
must be stopped.
It doesn't matter which side you go into. When he splits sides, he resets. If he doesn't have someone in aggro on both sides, he just resets. So it is literally impossible to solo now. Because any pets you have with you will go with you. That didn't happen to me, Gnarlex, and I actually did Blackwing Lair this morning.
I kind of want to go get that wolf.
The the Doom one from
Yeah,
Tanan.
the one named Rabies.
Yeah, rabies. I love how both times I've been here, someone has done a disrespectful emote on Proudmoore. The Void, Buzzdogan. So it looks like this is completely unchanged for an Alliance character, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping the Alliance character would be like, yeah, dude. Also, am I the only one who notices that all of the Archmages are human?
Well, they kicked out the Blood Elves.
Yeah, but they're still High Elves, or at least they used to be High Elves.
Guilt by association.
Fair enough. Excuse me. I think that's the only line that was different right there. We will send the invite to the
but using it
the war
wisely
chief.
is the key.
I remind you, the war chief right now is frickin' Sylvanas.
Loads of forgotten knowledge are within our grasp.
I think I'll wait on doing the rest of the quest. Do you have anyone you want to finish out invasion-wise, Pax? Because we're about to get a new cycle. Yeah, a
This
minute.
character needs a chest, my monk needs some pants. They're both wearing Shadowcraft.
Am I hoiped for Legion? Pax, help me out. You're better at sarcasm than me.
You had it in the guild message for like a week.
There you go. If that doesn't answer you, I got nothing. I need a drink. I'll be right back.
Do not waste my time, lesser creature.
Hey, I'm back. Time left on invasions. Oh, there we go. They just cycled over. Looks like we're going to get Hillsbrad, Westfall, and Tannerus. You need stuff on Talon?
Yeah.
Okay, I still need the dagger and the axe. And I can't get that on a... Oh, no, I can get on the Alliance. Give me just a minute, okay? Or, I mean,
Okay.
feel free to start going somewhere, but I'm going to get on our lore run character. His name I can't remember. The Worgen dude.
Alrighty. I'm not gonna go over there because it'll just skip to phase 3 or whatever.
Which one, Westfall?
Yeah, if I go first and then
Oh, yeah, I get you, I get you. Xylom. That was his name. I'm not sure I would like that, Buzdogan. Not that I'm opposed to a good redemption story, but that would be very hard to pull off properly. I need... So where are you going first?
Westfall. It's closest.
Okay. See, on the Horde, I know exactly where I'm going. I just need to think about it. On the Alliance, I'm like, what are my options? Because I'm not really pro-Alliance, I'll just be honest with you guys. You might even say I hate the Alliance. You'd be wrong, but, you know, you could say that. Ugh. And am I set up as Frost? Yes, okay. Alright. I'm at Stormwind, so do it to it.
Yep. I guess I could have taken the Stormwind portal because I was in that fake Dalaran.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's already at 40%. It's still phase 1, though. Come on, axe. I really need... Well, I shouldn't say really need. I still need the one-handed strength axe and the subtlety dagger. I think that's it. I guess I can check.
My luck's amazing.
I'm sorry, Liquid Truth. Secretly, I'm not that sorry. But nevertheless. Yeah, Pax is already done with all of the frickin' Legion weapons. I'm so angry at him.
And armor.
And armor. I'm done with armor, too. But, yeah, I need the axe. And...
Do not give
the dagger.
Do not
And the spear.
yield.
That's the other
Fight
thing.
on.
Axe, dagger, spear. I knew there was a third thing. Well, that is my job, Liquid Truth. I do the best I can. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. Pax, do you think I am a pimp?
Oh, what?
A pimp. P-I-M-P.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself that either, but, you know, I don't know anything. So you guys want to see something that's mind-blowing in terms of technological prowess? You see these enemies here? Now, it's probably hard to tell because I'm on the default UE, and it's garbage.
Are we on separate layers?
I don't know. Hang on, I'm walking towards you very slowly.
The Doom Guards make their descent. Ready at the hill.
No, I see you. Somewhere. There you are. Yep, this is me. Hey, what's up? Ah!
Ah, shit.
Look out, foo! The main Lauren character? Oh, she died. So, this enemy, you can see it right there, he's level 97. See these guys? These are level 95. Now, Talon over there is level 100. Pax, would you do me a favor? Wait, where are you?
What?
Just to verify. Okay, so my target, right? What level is my target?
102.
We're both in the same layer, looking at the same mob. He's level 97 to me. What the hell's what? What the hell's what?
This gripping shadows thing that just about killed me.
Well, get rid of it then, foo. Or die to it. That's also acceptable. Anyways, we're both looking at the same mobs, but their level is being scaled on the fly to each of us. Think about that for a moment. I don't know if you fully understand what a significant achievement that is from a programming perspective. This is different than player-specific layering, which we've seen many times before. This is adaptive layering with... this isn't even actually layering. This is adaptive leveling. Level scaling. These mobs are scaled to us in level. I don't mean like Oblivion. I mean like... I've been here on a level 10, fighting these guys as if they were level 10. And contributing, because the damage I do is equaled out as a percentage to whatever their health is. So even though I'm hitting them for like 3, Pax would see me hitting, you know, the damage I do would lower their health by a percentage amount equal as if I had hit them as I was 100. It is mind-blowingly advanced tech. I am absolutely blown away by that. I have never seen an MMO do something at that level.
Witness your lands being devoured before your very eyes.
Yeah, I was watching a level 35 paladin tank one of those big guys.
Nice.
Make haste. Spread throughout the lands. Purge this infestation.
Another funny little factoid. So originally people were like, "Hey, you know, this is a good way to level," and so people were doing this for exp. And then the developers noticed. I'm gonna turn off the sound. People noticed they were doing this for levels, and they're like, the developers said, "Why don't we boost the experience these invasions give by a big old chunk?" So in other words, in addition to yes, it does scale the healing as well correctly. In addition to being good X to begin with, you can basically get about a level every 2, I want to say, invasions, depending. It does depend on your level.
On my level 50,
Yeah?
I was getting 2 levels per invasion.
Wow. That might be the boost then, because, you know, earlier it was like 2.5 invasions to a level. Of course, my level 10 got 3 levels in a single invasion. but we're pretty sure there's some scaling involved there. Yeah, so earlier, and by earlier I mean last week, I forget where we were, but the whole group that was living around in, or functioning in one of the invasions, was moving as one group. And so every time we moved to a new area, you'd see about 40 or so players mount up on epic flying mounts and just soar towards them. It was one of the coolest looking things I've ever seen. We were basically a fleet of players flying through the air, heading to our next destination. It was awesome. Like, you're not really seeing it here. There's only 2 players here. But imagine there's like 40 players on my screen all flying over here, and that's pretty much what we had. It was really cool. What predictions do I have for the Tyrande and Malfurion story arcs? I'm not going to say anything about that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And hey, Game Over. The pre-launch event so far has been phenomenally excellent. Whoa, I took aggro. We turn to Pax for his opinion on the pre-launch events. Pax!
Best one yet.
There you go. I agree with that, by the way. It was kind of teetering as to whether I liked this one or the Wrath one better, but that scaling thing I just mentioned, the increase to the leveling and the escalation in the lore quest that they added just today, yeah, this is officially better than the Wrath launch event. This is freaking awesome. The fact that you can actually go into a zone, like I'm in Westfall, okay, I'm an Alliance character right now, but I could come here on my Horde character and help defend Westfall. And the whole zone will be layered as if I am friendly to Westfall while I'm here. Now, when the invasion ends, it reverts back to normal layer. But that's still a nice little touch they didn't have to do. They could have enforced the whole PvP thing. Disclaimer.
I suppose you saw that.
What? No, I was dead. Sorry, I'm trying to find a vendor. You know what? I'm stupid.
I flew through the Fell Reaver and was immediately at 2% health.
Nice. Ahem. Disclaimer, I am not automatically against PvP. In fact, I actually plan to do several bits of PvPing myself in Legion. However, the fact of the matter remains that one of the more irritating things to me is when people are like, yeah, PvP, and insist that for some stupid reason the Horde and the Alliance have to be opposite each other and not help each other out. It's nice to see us actually working together for once. Are you just chilling now?
I was AFK for a sec.
Oh, okay. Yes, they added a lore quest today, which I just did, actually. Liquid Truth. I don't think I at any point in time said Warlords was the best pre-launch, because it was actually kind of a terrible pre-launch. It was really discouraging and disappointing. It was like a few quests in the Blasted Lands, which were pretty good, and then one preview of a dungeon, and that was it. That was pathetic. Not as bad as Pandaria. Pandaria's pre-launch is the worst ever.
What was Pandaria's?
They added both versions, the Horde and the Alliance version of the Theramore scenario, and that was it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was pathetic. Easily the most pathetic pre-launch event of all time. Some people make fun of Katas, but all those people tend to forget that Kata actually had a pretty good and extensive pre-launch event with several quest chains, and then the elemental bosses you can go after. And the elemental invasions. And Deathwing flying around, yeah. Ugh, Death. Where is everybody? Usually I try to stay with the herd on these guys, but like I can't seem to find the herd.
I think the herd is just standing in town.
So, Fury, I'm going to say something very, very controversial here. I'm sure Pax will actually back me up on this one. I liked Warlords. It had its issues, mostly related to the fact, in fact, I would say entirely related to the fact that they abandoned support of it midway through. If they had kept, I stand by my statement, if they had continued to support Warlords all the way through it, it would actually probably be the best expansion we've had to date. It had all the pieces there.
Yeah, it had the bones of a good expansion, but it was just, they quit.
Yeah, they just flat up quit. It's also kind of funny, because that pretty much explains Warlords in a nutshell. The beginning is awesome, and then you hit level 100, and it's like, well...
Time to play Facebook games.
Yeah, but you also like Sylvanas K. Not really, Liquid, because I know exactly why they abandoned Warlords. They abandoned Warlords to work on Legion. The odds, therefore, of Legion being a half-made expansion are lower, especially since Warlords was the only expansion they half-made, although you could argue that Cataclysm and BC were also half-made, but that's getting into technically range there. Hey, little Billy.
Cataclysm was a whole world of work. I can't just look at the 4 new zones that they added and say, oh yeah, that's all they did.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. They did a lot of work for Cata. The only reason I made that comment is not because of the 4 zones thing, but because they intend to do even more. And they just, for obvious reasons, they ran out of time because they did so much work revamping the old world. And BC, of course, well, I've discussed many times the Ilsheimer situation. There's no need to go over that again. I have no idea, Myron. I've never had to deal with parental control issues on my Battle.net account, so I don't know how it would get turned on by default. So Toby just asked a question, and also just supported me on Patreon, so thank you, Toby. If I was in charge of the story, which main characters would I kill off in Legion? That's a tough question. Sarfang. I mean, no disrespect to the man, but him getting a truly honorable death and finally redeeming himself for all the horrible acts he did. Not that I think he needs to be redeemed, by the way, but Sarfang thinks he needs to be redeemed. I mean, you with me on this, Bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to have his own peace of mind. And so him getting a good, heroic death, satisfying, that's important. It has to be satisfying, and it has to be badass. But I think they could pull that off. So Sarfang, he should die. Other main characters that should die. That's tough. I don't think Khadgar should die yet. I'd have to think about. What do you think, Pax? Other main characters that should die in Legion. Like if you had the reins.
Oh, I don't know.
Whoop! Yep. Right, I'm used to having DVM on here, so I wasn't paying any attention. Actually, I would put forth Eitrig as a racial leader for the Orcs. Or Eitrig. I actually don't know how to pronounce his name. I've never heard it. He's a pretty awesome guy. No, I don't actually think Sylvanas should die in Legion. Even if they go the bad guy route with her, she should not die in Legion. She should be on the rise to her true final villainy. You know what I mean? If they're going the bad guy route with her. Whoop, get out, get out, get out. No! Okay, made it out. As much as I hate to say this, I think Genn Greymane should die. I don't mean that as an I hate Genn. Genn is one of the very, very, very few remaining people who are from the old times. He's from Warcraft 2, for God's sakes. And it just kind of makes sense for him to die in a way where he passes the torch on to me. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Ugh! Wow, that hurt! Don't mind my corpse. You know, the Olympics are going on right now. I'm playing in the Olympics myself. The 200-meter corpse fling.
Just corpse bombing the Westfall.
Yeah, exactly. Game Over Scythe, if you look at my my non-features channel, my Zagmazael channel, you will see I have a video up, and there's some stuff there that you can click on to go straight to my thoughts on all the Broken Shore stuff there. I talk for like an hour about it, so I'm not going to summarize it here. Eitrig is older than Sarfang, I do believe, yes. Both of them are pretty damn old at this point. Could Sylvanas die? Well, Sylvanas doesn't have the secret of infinite resurrection like the second Lich King did. In fact, as we've discovered during our Cataclysm lore run, she barely has the secret of resurrecting anybody. So, yeah, I am absolutely positive that she could die. And she could end up in the Cold Dark, which would be absolutely horrible, and I don't actually wish that upon her. Hit me, Pax. Who else do you think should die? You didn't answer.
You.
Well, other than me, because I've already died like 3 times, so I've fulfilled my quota for the day.
I don't know. Janet could probably go.
I was debating Proudmoore. Because, like, there's several ways her character arc could go, but her having a tragic death of misunderstanding, believing she was betrayed in the end, that kind of a thing. On the one hand, I really am tired of the Horde versus Lion thing. But on the other hand, her having a tragic death would be a very suitable end to her character arc. Damn. Didn't get the axe. I got some Fel, which I can't use until 98.
I got some Fel, and I got a Warforge,
I got a Warforged. Oh, no, I didn't. Never mind.
but I still haven't gotten my chest.
Actually, I did get Warforged. That's hilarious. Hillsbrad and Tannerus. Is your hearth up?
Yep.
Mine is too. Let's go, let's hit Tannerus. That's quicker. I'm not 100% sure, Little Billy, except I totally am. It definitely was not Frostmourne, but I don't want to spoil why. Spoiler, 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 spoiler. You're fine, Chemic. Toby has a question for you, Pax. Dramatic pause. Who is your favorite WoW character? And no, they cannot, Little Billy. At least to my knowledge.
I don't know. I've probably Illidan.
Illidan? But why
From
Illidan?
Warcraft 3 specifically.
Well, yeah. Although he was kind of badass in all the Legion stuff we've seen so far. At least I think so.
That's true, but they're gonna fuck his character again.
Again. Yeah, we really don't know what they're doing with his character. I'm already in Tannerus, by the way. I hope you're here. You here? You here? No.
I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, basically, Little Billy. You are correct.
Chromie.
What?
Chromie.
Chromie is awesome. Chromie is awesome. In general. I hope we see more of her. She's been in every expansion so far.
Yep.
Including Vanilla, if you count that. If they ever do go that route where the Horde and the Alliance do formally finally join together, and then that rogue faction of, you know, people who refuse to have peace comes up, Jaina Proudmoore being the leader of that rogue faction would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Well, Nozdormu, if all indications are accurate, is currently going off becoming Murozond, so, you know. Well, we always knew the essence of the Lich King was in the Helm of Domination, not in Frostmourne. Frostmourne was just an incredibly well-crafted Nethrezim artifact sword of doom. Copyright pending.
Oh, doomy doom doom.
Of doom. Doomy doom doom. Every time I say that, people assume I'm referring to some frickin' Nickelodeon show. No! Come on, Deacon, guys! Alright, hands up. How many people in chat know who Deacon is? Obviously, Pax does.
He was the best character in both of his games.
I'll agree with that, actually. Hey, Sigma. Actually, the Eridar weren't actually involved with that, Little Billy, nor was Sargeras, to our knowledge. The whole Scourge thing was an invention of the Nethrezim, arguably the most advanced race in the whole setting. Yes, even more than the Titans. We talked about that a lot during the lore one. But basically, yeah, the Nethrezim invented the Scourge and everything that made the Scourge tick. And were... Yeah, it was probably their crowning achievement, I'd say. of everything they've ever done, ever. Whoa, there we go. Where'd it go? Where's the ship? Oh, it's above me. Whoa, hello. It's right above me. So this is a Legion siege ship. These are actually made by the Minari, who are the Fel siege crafters of the Legion. Also very technologically advanced. How technologically advanced? Well, they've got these barriers around their ship. Like that. You don't actually have to die. You can survive impact with a ship. It just does a lot of damage to you. I just happen to already be low on health. See, Fel artillery is what it actually hits you with.
It's easier to survive as a warlock.
Yeah. But think of how amazing it would smell. Okay. We're not 100% sure, Bozdogan, but it's generally implied that they were accidents. The only battleship I've seen of the Legion is that one you're staring at right there. It's the same model we saw in Mardoom, actually. Can't wait to go back and conquer Mardoom, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard picking which character to play first.
I know, right? I'm so pissed that I have to deal with frickin' Odin as a warrior. I really, really hope my warrior in character will learn what I know about Odin out of character so I can kill his ass. Frickin' bastard.
Okay, I think I saved all the little cowering goblin.
Did you get the message?
Nope. But I mean, that I don't know when that happens.
True. Oh, someone aggroed him. So here's a question for you guys, chat. Which character do you want to push first in Legion? Not ever, just first. I do not know, Norlux. I've actually rather successfully avoided a lot of the class spoilers, except for Death Knight, because a lot of that was spoiled for me, but, you know, whatever.
And who did that?
One of the viewers during the lore run. He asked something, and it was one of those questions that the very question itself was like, oh, you know. Not that I'm aware of, Toby. I mean, in my headcanon, one of my Horde characters who are probably on decent terms with the Alliance and with Anduin in particular would be like, hey, Anduin, dude, we didn't betray you, okay? Just, this is really important. I wouldn't even make it like a big flowery letter, just like a quick sentence. We didn't betray you! We got screwed up, okay? We lost. We were dying. Horribly. To my knowledge, new demons are not crafted. As in, the only demons that exist are the only demons that will ever exist. That's usually not a problem, because demons cannot be permanently destroyed unless they are destroyed within their home plane. That's one of the reasons why Illidan's victory over the Netherzeem was so significant, because he permanently killed a large number of demons. That's a good point, Nerozaz. I was kind of thinking the rogue faction would just be, like, Horde and Alliance, which I guess would kind of defeat the point, wouldn't it? Pax, who would be a good, evil Horde idiot to lead the PvP faction? Help me out here.
Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't actually think of one. As I've mentioned many times, the Horde is so unified right now that it's hard to picture one of them going rogue at this point in time. Even Sylvanas. Garrosh. Garrosh's corpse gets up. Ugh, death. Ugh, and he's like 1 health. Okay, this guy's not coming down. Screw him. Where'd you go? The Scourge are biological, spiritual, military, economic, cultural, and societal warfare, all wrapped in one. They are one of the most beautiful and horrific things I've ever seen, ever. They're right up there with frickin' Phazon. No, the reason Tichondrius can return is because, hang on, Tichondrius has nothing to do with Frostmourne. I mean, he does, but he was defeated by Illidan, not Arthas. He can return because the writers decided that being killed in a significant way was not enough to permanently kill a demon. That's the way the rules kind of used to work. You either had to be killed in your home plane, or you had to be killed by significant power. Like, originally the way it was going was Archimonde was permadead, because he was killed by all those wisps and the energy of the World Tree itself. And Tichondrius was permadead because he was killed by Illidan in full demonic form. And both of those things were retconned. So you can only kill a demon by killing it in its home plane.
I just discovered probably a reason that there's so much lag going on.
What for?
You remember in AC when liches used to shoot their arrows and they would never stop traveling?
Yeah.
I just saw that.
I'm heading to you, because I want to see this.
I mean, it flew into the ground, but I mean, it was a series of bolts from one of the Eridars.
Mal'Ganis was the Dreadlord that was killed by Arthas, and has come back. So. We can, and indeed have, invaded the Netherrealm. As I mentioned earlier, Illidan had one big victory by actually destroying an entire Nethrezim world, permanently killing all of the demons who were on it, wiping them out completely. It's the first real victory that has ever been had against the Legion, so of course Illidan's the one who did it. Which WoW retcon has annoyed me the most? Hi, Darkrai. Bye, Darkrai. Let's see. Pax, you got any opinion on that one?
I already told you, Illidan's.
Yeah, that's actually the first one that came to my mind, too. The Ilsheimer's incident that I talked about so much in BC was the worst retcon, in my opinion. Completely ruined his character because they forgot who he was.
And you can throw Ner'zhul's on there, too.
Yeah, the Ner'zhul retcon in... Well, the Ner'zhul ruining in Warlords irritated me quite a bit. He was the only warlord who got nothing. No book, no comic, no short story, and no Warlords video. He's just, hey, here's Ner'zhul. He's a dungeon boss. And he's the Lich King because we can't actually think of a real... We can't think of Ner'zhul as separate from the Lich King, even though that's ridiculous and stupid. We apparently have hearts of 72% pure gold. That's pretty impressive. Oh god, so okay, this particular guy, is this the Defiled? Yeah, it's Vogruthar again. So this guy slowly has, you see these fell patches here? Well, he's going to slowly start dropping more and more of these over time, right? One time we took so long killing him that the area we were fighting, I think it was Karanos. Do you remember, Pax?
I don't know, it's happened so many times.
Yeah, he's just floods the area to get to the point where it's actually physically difficult to reach the boss in order to actually attack him as a melee, because just the ground is fell.
On top of that, you can't stay in because the Infernals are just pulsing their AoE damage.
Yep. Yeah, some of these bosses are kind of anti-melee. I've gotten very accustomed to dying a lot. Yeah, Veramothras technically... Well, I shouldn't even say technically. Veramothras is definitely still alive. Somewhere.
And Dalaran as a mage.
He's the dude that we didn't recognize. I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. They're Nethrezim. They can shapeshift.
It's either that or he's the one at the carnival.
That would be funny, actually. I don't think we will, Toby. Partially because they've been working on Legion since before Warlords even came out. So, most of the characterization that's happening in Legion is probably completely separate from Warlords. The only exception to that is alternate Gul'dan, and I feel like they had that plan from the beginning. Also, they're probably trying to distance themselves from Warlords because Warlords has such a bad rap. Because, I mean, it does have a very, very bad rap. Ugh, dead again. To my knowledge, an extremely small number of demons are permadead. I mean, extremely small. Oh yeah, sorry, Fury. I actually really liked the Illidan book. I'm sorry, I know, you hate me for it, but I did. I felt it was the second best WoW book I've ever read, after the Arthas one. Yeah, sure, Liquid Truth. No, I don't allow off-topic questions on my stream. Kemek, why don't you ask like 50 questions about Star Trek really quick before Liquid Truth can ask that? Yeah, you're right. I probably should hop in a siege engine.
It's too bad. Yeah, it's already took fully Ramblomatic, because that's you.
Shut up. Ding. Oh, hey, the spirit healer stayed a spirit healer of resiness. That's actually pretty cool.
You just hot fixed it then.
Yes! I got the X! Finally! Freaking finally. So now I just need the dagger and the pole arm.
Gonna drop all your fel on it?
I can't?
What?
Well, fel requires 98 to use.
Oh.
So, I'm physically incapable. Buzzdogan, I'm actually not going to answer that, but only because we got into a really big argument during the lore run about guns in fantasy. Suffice it to say, it fits better than you'd think in a setting where you can be hit by a giant axe and only walk away with a bruise. It's not that hard to imagine that a gun would not instantly kill you.
You're not gonna do the third one?
No, I have no reason to be on him anymore. I'll help you if you want help with it.
I don't need help.
Alright. Chat, what do you think? Rogue or monk or druid or hunter? Actually, that's a dumb question. I'll go with druid. Because he could actually use the weapon. Shadow says hi, Pax.
Yo.
Anyways, so Liquid Truth question. I have said why Half-Life 3 would have to be made by someone other than Valve. Valve stopped making games a while ago. This is no longer a big thing to say. Valve themselves have openly said, yes, we're not making games anymore. We're making Steam and other things like that. And for many, many logical reasons. Oh, wow. Only an hour and a half left on the Invasions. I think it's 2.5 hours right now? I'm not sure. But that's certainly not 4 hours. I'll go for the Undercity. That's not the Undercity, that's Orgrimmar. I guess I'll go to Tannerus. Anyways, the long and the short of it is Valve themselves aren't really in the game development game anymore, not the way they used to be, and have freely admitted that by their own desire, they don't just want to make a good game anymore. They want to make an innovative game. They want to push the envelope. You know, like Half-Life, Half-Life 2 both did. Both of those really changed the way gaming functioned in many ways.
I'd say Portal did, too.
I would agree with that. I think Portal did as well. And I would also argue that Team Fortress did. The original Team Fortress. I know that wasn't fully done by Valve, but point remains. Even if you argue that, Counter-Strike absolutely changed that. That basically started the FPS online revolution. So they want to make Half-Life 3 to be some big innovative thing, and that can be good. But to be completely blunt, I'd rather have a game that is designed to be a good game, rather than a game that's designed to be an innovative game that might be a good game. Make sense? In other words, innovation is not always a good thing, is what I'm kind of reaching towards here.
You've also got to realize they can't count past 2.
That's true. They lack the ability. Every time they get out with their fingers, they're like, 1, 1.5, and they just lose themselves. They can't do it.
I mean, they made Dota 2. They made Half-Life 1 and 2. Episode
1 and
1
2.
and 2.
Then they made Portal and Portal 2. And then they made Team Fortress and Team Fortress 2. Has there ever been a 3?
Nope.
In a Valve game? I'm reminded of that Futurama episode, which Pax isn't going to get because he doesn't watch Futurama because he's terrible. Where Bender, the robot, is dreaming in binary, and he's like 111001001, and like a 2 goes across the screen. He's like, 2! And then Fry comforts him. It's like, it's okay. There's no such thing as 2. Just replace the 2 with 3 and Bender with Valve, and you've got it. Valve's next game will be called 3. I like that. What am I missing on Nox? Oh, I still need a helmet on him. I still have frickin' heirloom gear on.
Yep. That's
And I need... Well, oh,
that's
sorry.
what I got on 2 characters.
Nice. I also need the ring from the Broken Shore, which I need to do at some point. I wonder if my sister's still here. I don't want to bother with her right now. She's watching some Olympics thing. But yeah, I agree with the concept. I'm all for experimenting. Really, I am. I like the idea of trying to stretch out and try new things. It's one of the things I like about Nintendo as a developer. Not a corporation, just a developer. But when you have a existing concrete franchise, very story-centric, I want to see the story end in a satisfying manner. You can play with new innovative stuff with other games, you know? With this game called 2.999. Wait, no, there's too many 9s in there. 2.99. There we go. Oh yeah, by the way, for those of you who haven't seen it, Half-Life 3 poster is up at Gamescom. It's not a joke. There's a Half-Life 3 poster up at Gamescom. So, for those of you not aware, it's a advert for a documentary kind of thing they're doing about like the development of Half-Life, because it's Half-Life 3 as opposed to Half-Life 3. In other words, the 3 developers who are going to be talking about Half-Life. It's a giant poster too. I mean, we're talking one of those giant, you know, in front of the buildings kind of posters. Yeah. Diablo 3 would probably best suit lore run format, because there's plenty of lore in it and I know it pretty well. You know, Diablo 2 has lore to it, but not a huge amount. Diablo 1... Diablo 1 does have lore. It's all in the books and stuff you get as you go down into the dungeon. Anyways, which Blizzard I'm going to ask you this, Pax. What's your favorite Blizzard franchise?
Warcraft.
Good night, Grey Wolf. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty leaning towards Warcraft as well. I like StarCraft a lot, actually. And I like Overwatch, even though it's new. And I like Diablo, but... Yeah, I've been a Warcraft fan since Warcraft 1. And considering how freaking terrible that game actually was, that says something.
Yep. I started on Warcraft 2, went back, and then loved the shit out of 3.
Oh, God, yeah. 3 was so freaking good. I still remember to this day when I first loaded up the beta for 3. For those of you not aware, it was a different like login screen rather than the the pool of the human and the orc who were killed. It was a human keep, and there were people in the background like shoot the cannons, and that awesome Warcraft 3 music that carried forward into WoW was playing. It was really, really cool. And I never remember how I felt in that moment, or I've never forgotten how I felt in that moment of just, this is awesome! Also, the Horde were no longer bad guys. I no longer had to feel bad about playing Horde. Hey, Mind Blast. What's up? So you know one thing I really like about Legion packs?
What?
None of the specs I play are not fun. There's no such thing at this point as a class that I don't enjoy playing.
I could see that.
So for those of you who have, obviously Pax knows this, I've talked about this with him a lot, but I'm really stuck on my druid, because on each of my specs, I've for the last several weeks, I've been trying out all the specs and all my classes to kind of narrow down what I want my main spec to be on an even class. And for several of them, it's easy. Like, in some cases, you know, this one spec is clearly my favorite. In some cases, there's two or in extreme cases, three that I like. So I just pick one that I kind of like the most. Druid is the worst, because I like all four specs. This is not a joke. Balance is fun, Feral is fun, Guardian is awesome, and I love healing on it. Yeah. I hate druids. I'm probably going to go ahead and go tank, but I'm still torn on what to main on my druid. Look, Buzzdogan, I know you're very against Xenos, but if you would just join us and embrace chaos, I think you'd really appreciate just exactly what the Horde could do for you. Aha! Chris is on! Chris, you need to join our Thug Squad. By the way, Morphic Terrain in action here. This is actually Garrison Tech being employed right there. That's probably a matter of opinion, Liquid Truth. However, one thing they did very well in Warlords in general was they allowed you to like, if you pick up a profession in Warlords, you can use Warlords materials to raise it all the way to max, rather than having to go through the harassment and irritation of all of the lower level stuff that you would have to do otherwise. So,
from what I'm seeing, they don't have that going with the new one. Like, you're not gonna have your daily cooldown thing where you get 10 points.
Oh, thank God for that. I'm sorry, I hated the daily crap in Warlords of Crafting. Like, I liked how they did the speed up mechanic. That was great. But the daily stuff, bleh. Anyway, someone asked, Kingdom Hearts 3 or Half-Life 3, which will come out first? Kingdom Hearts 3, that's an easy one. Kingdom Hearts 3 will come out roughly at the heat death of the universe, and Half-Life 3 will never come out. Very simple. What'd you say?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody else.
Oh, okay. Sorry. The most lore-approved race-spec job combo. Forsaken Paladin. Yeah, I'm really torn on my priest as well, Chris, even though you probably can't hear me anymore. Because I really liked Discipline, and I really liked Shadow. I haven't tried out Holy yet, have I, Pax? Crap.
Nope.
I have one spec left I still haven't tried out. God dang. We need to, like, decide how I can try that out. Tauren rogues are way OP. Anyways, the speed up mechanic is like this, Liquid Truth. Let's say you've just started playing WoW, and you decide to use a level 100 boost or something, right? Okay, this is kind of a bad example. Let's say you just started playing WoW and you get to level 100. So there you are, level 100. Rawr. And you're like, oh man, I really want to raise blacksmithing. Now, in every other expansion, you'd have to go back, get the vanilla recipes, get, you know, copper and bronze, and then tin, and then iron, and then
Basically, you have to farm your ass.
Yeah, and it would be a colossal pain in the ass. I've done it more than once myself. It's a huge, aggravating hassle of stupid. In Warlords, instead you go gather the materials in Warlords. You know, all of the Blackrock ore and the true iron ore. You get all that together, and then you just make recipes that are specifically designed so that even though you have only one skill in blacksmith, you can still make the Warlords recipes. Only some of them. But still, they give you tons of skill ups each one, and they're relatively cheap to do. So rather than going back and getting all these dozens of recipes across all of these many different expansions, you just get Warlords expansion materials and use that to level your skill up to max. And it's an awesome mechanic in my opinion. Oh hey, third's on. Woo. Have I ever played Heroes of Might and Magic 3? Let's look that up, because I don't know is the answer. The Heroes of Might and Magic 3... The Heroes of Might and Magic series blurs for me a lot. So I'm not sure which is which. I know I've played several of them. 3. I'm looking at pictures right now. Okay, I'm almost positive I have played 3, yes. Not in a long time. Yeah, okay, I've definitely played 3. So there's your answer. Yes, Furie. In fact, I don't know if you've seen Shadow Priests in Legion, but they have completely changed the way Shadow Priests work, and, like, it's much, much clearer that we are actively utilizing Legion everything. Or, not Legion, excuse me. Old God everything. In fact, if you give me a moment here, I'll show you something. Hey, Bandit. What's up, dude? Oops. By the way, if you are a Horde character, you will never finish your recipes for cooking. I say that as someone who has all but 3, I think, at this point. No, 2, because I got the other one. One of them I'm missing requires a guild achievement. That's not happening. And the other one is an Alliance-only recipe that I have in my inventory, but it will not let me learn it.
You also don't have Thistle Tea.
Thistle Tea, that's the other one. Sorry, I knew there was another one. I was wrong. So there are 3 I'm missing. Thistle Tea, which I will never be able to get. The guild achievement one, which will probably never happen. And the one that is apparently Alliance-only, even though I have it in my inventory. And every now and again I try it again to see if I can learn it. Nothing. Meh. Nothing. What are you doing, Fu?
Who, me?
Yeah.
An invasion.
Still? I just finished mine.
Yeah, people are camping.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the one problem with people taking newbies to an invasion. They're like, yay, I can just sit and leech.
Yeah. I haven't seen a huge problem with leeching yet, but it is a problem. Okay, so here's my priest. She is, of course, a Shadow Priest. Hello, Khadgar. So, first of all, this is the artifact weapon we'll be getting in Legion for Shadow Priest. Xal'atath, Blade of the Black Empire. Xal'atath has a mind of its own. Ignore its maddening whispers. Do not trust the lies it spins. Take from it what you need, but always remember that dark presence in the blade is not your ally. And the offhand says, the moment I touched the blade, a name was spoken in my mind. Xal'atath. I knew then I could not destroy the dagger. Not yet. How can one defeat a power one does not understand? And it looks like this. I don't know if you can quite tell. Some of the transmogs for this outfit have an actual moving eye in the book, and an actual moving eye in the blade. One of our talents for Shadow Priest is called Surrender to Madness. which makes all our insanity generating abilities generate 150% more insanity, and you can cast while moving until you exit void form, and then you die horribly. They're not joking, by the way. The moment you run out of insanity, you die. With very careful setup and bloodlust, heroism, you can actually maintain that for a couple minutes. Or at least you used to be able to. It actually just got nerfed in today's patch. Apparently people were maintaining that buff a little bit too long. But you can maintain that for a decent chunk of time. And then you die.
I'll be right back.
Alright. I took Legacy of the Void instead, which is very useful for me. Because every now and again I give in to the Void. Are there attack dummies around here? So I could show something off. Oh, there are, right over here. Here we go, perfect. So let me show you something here. I want you to pay attention to my character's model as I slowly build up my insanity. Yes, my resource as a Shadow Priest is now known as Insanity. I currently have 40 Insanity, to give you an idea. So hang on, I'm going to increase my Insanity really quick. Get away from them. There we go, okay. Alright, you ready for this? Bam! I am now insane and in void form. All of my attacks do much more damage and are quicker, and my Void Bolt actually refreshes my dots. You can see how my insanity is bleeding away. So if I had that one talent, the moment my insanity runs out... Okay, it was hard to see, but tentacles sprout out of me when the insanity runs out. Then I would have died if I had that talent. So yeah, Shadow Priests are officially, formally utilizing the Void. They have gotten rid of any possibility of subtlety or subterfuge on that. It's okay. I mean, we can tolerate Warlocks, we can tolerate Shadow Priests, right? I'm sorry, by the way, Game Over Scythe. It's Valen! What are you talking about? Is she done? I think she's done. Pretty sure most of my characters are done, except for, of course, I still don't have the spear and I still don't have the frickin' daggers. As you can see, I have a lot of fell armor on basically all my characters. I'm rather fond of the outfit I've got going on for my Demon Hunter, though. What do you think, guys? Yeah, Warlocks probably have to be a little more low profile than usual. How do we know you're not working with the Legion? Well, I'm not. But how do we know that? Give in! Give in to the darkness. I just feel like showing this off. I'm actually rather pleased with this outfit. It suits my Demon Hunter surprisingly well. Yes, Legion will be upping the cap to 110. So here's my my Demon Hunter here. Yeah, I was gonna say my Warlock also has the green fire. But no, I'm totally not working with the Legion. Apparently an item on my wish list on Steam is on sale. What would that be? I don't even know what that's one of the games I was looking at for an exploration. $10. I'd buy it, but I already have a bajillion games for explorations. Like tons and tons of games. I already have the next 2 weeks games owned and ready to go for that. Oh yeah! I want to show that off. Yeah, we'll do that on our Demon Hunter. That's appropriate. Alright, tank spec. By the way, it's rare that I enjoy a tank and a DPS spec equally, but I really like both tanking and DPSing on Demon Hunters a lot. So this is not the perfect event, but the Dark Whispers event is really cool. I want to give you a story, if you don't mind, guys. And I'm probably going to cut off the stream for a bit. And for the night. By for a bit, I mean for the night. So, the Dark Whispers event is periodically, just by being in Orgrimmar, you'll get Dark Whispers that'll go, join the Legion. Most of the people who get that tend to congregate right about here, at least on our server. Or our server group, I should say. So, once you are whispered, it does some really cool things, because other players can't tell there's anything different with you. They can't see any buffs or debuffs or anything whatsoever that indicates that you have joined the Legion, okay? You, the player who has the Dark Whispers, you can just right-click the buff off, right? And if you right-click the buff off, you don't have to participate. Now, I love that, because it's the one thing that was actually flawed with the Wrath launch event, with the Scourge invasion and with the undead plague that was spreading. There was no option to opt out of being hit by the plague. Here, there is an option to opt out of the plague. That's nice. So once you get it, you get new abilities. You actually can't mount anymore, and you can't heal. Both of those are actually brilliant in their own subtle ways. You have an ability to cause mass hysteria, which makes everyone PvPable to everyone else, including NPCs. You have an ability to make someone else have the Dark Whispers, so they have the same stuff you do. You have the ability to take on someone else's appearance. You have the ability to shapeshift, basically. When you take someone else's appearance, by the way, you take on basically everything about them. Their name, their title, their appearance. If for another player's perspective, they can't tell you're the same player or not. And, of course, you can turn into a massive Dreadlord and kill everything for about a minute, and then you die. You can only turn into a Dreadlord once you have converted 9 people to the Legion. Now, here's the real tricky part. The moment you use the ability to try and convert someone else to the Legion, or use the Mass Hysteria, which is what you need to do in order to get rid of your stacks to turn into a Nethrezim, you become targetable by everyone. You enter there's actually a specific faction flag, which basically means attackable by everyone. All the NPCs swarm to attack you, and all the players can attack you. And so, it's actually trickier than you'd think to get all 9 stacks used. Because, yep, there it is, boom. I knew if I stuck around here a minute, I'd be able to show you it. So I have just been hit by the thing, okay? I know how, it's this guy right over here. This player did it to me. You see how he's attackable right now? Now, if you wait a moment, you'll see that he will go back to being non-attackable in just a few seconds. Three more seconds. 3 more seconds. There he goes. Now he's green again, okay? So he's no longer attackable. The thing that makes this brilliant is you basically have this, you have 30 minutes to get 9 stacks. That's harder to do than it sounds. Because, again, you can't mount, and you can't heal. There is no method by which you have to heal while you're slowly turning to the Legion. So what ended up happening is me and Pax started coordinating. And I mean, it was some of the funnest stuff I've ever done in this game. No joke. There were several Horde players who were standing around here who were going out of their way to try and attack people who were converting. They were playing along with it. Just, they weren't being dicks about it. They were just having fun, just like we were. So Pax was trying really hard to get to 9 stacks, and between the two of us coordinating, we could make it so that we could both lose our stacks, because I would take Pax's appearance. He would run around a rock, and I would take his appearance and run back the other way. And the other players who are trying to hunt him would start following me, and then I'd start doing stuff as if I'm trying to target someone to convert them. Obviously, I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is tanking the player by keeping his focus on me, because he thinks I'm Pax. Because once you do that take appearance thing, they can't tell you're a different player. And so it's really, really fun to do this Dark Whispers event if you have a friend to do it with. And you can coordinate together and try to, like, okay, you do this, and you move over here, and I'm going to target this guy, and blah, 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 blah. Now, the funny thing is there's no indicator whatsoever of whether or not someone has given in to the Legion and has the Dark Whispers, except for one. Any person who has given into the Dark Whispers can tell if someone else is a member of the Dark Whispers. I'll give you an example of this right now, if I can. See if I can find anyone here who's given into the Dark Whispers. There may not be anybody, so you're going to have to give me a moment. Well, I'll go ahead and explain what I'm looking for. You see how all of these people, I can give them Dark Whispers. I could convert them to the Legion. My number 1 key is lit up, in other words. Ah, here we go. This guy right here. This guy has joined the Legion. This guy has joined the Legion, and I can tell because I can't turn him to the Legion because he's already a Legion. It's the only indicator that exists to tell whether or not someone has joined the Legion or not. And, yeah. This is really cool. I'll go ahead and demonstrate what happens. So, from my perspective, this is going to be really obvious. We'll use him. No, he's Harthing. Yeah, it's absolutely insidious. I love this. So we're going to convert this druid right here. There we go. Now, obviously, on my side here, you can see this is clearly and obviously... But remember, when I was converted, I didn't see anyone focusing a red beam on my face, did I? Of course I didn't, because that's only visible to the person converting them, not the person being converted. So they can't see who I'm targeting. They can't see me channeling the conversion. All they can see is when I turn. All they can see is when I show myself as an ally of the Legion, which, as you saw, was a 12-second debuff that, as I mentioned, it makes me attackable by everyone. So now I have 8 stacks. And if I have the ability to, if I was actually able to convert 8 more people, then I would be able to turn into a Dreadlord. And when you're a Dreadlord, you're basically you're not basically, you are literally a raid boss. You have raid boss health, raid boss abilities that hit for in the millions, and basically can just wipe out entire groups of people. And it was really, really awesome, actually. So remember that gentleman I mentioned earlier who was trying to hunt down Pax, and I was pretending to be Pax? So when we finally both got it, so both of us had lost all of our stacks. So we were both capable of doing a Dreadlord. We both walked right up on his face and both popped Dreadlord and both hit him with a Carrion Swarm in the face for 1,000,000 damage. It was a lot of fun. Some players will sit around here and click off the buff so that other people can convert to them. So that other people can convert them. Oh, crap. And then some people will just try to kill them. Oh, Grunt saw me. So, by the way, you can't glide when you're a Legion. You can double jump, but you can't do the glide. You can't use any of your abilities while you're joining the Legion. How appropriate, by the way. So much of this event is lore and gameplay integration that I love it. Like going around and finding the Dark Infiltrators is another excellent example of lore and gameplay integration, because in lore, of course, you'd be wanting to go around trying to seed out the Nethrezim who have infiltrated your capital city, and when you're gameplay, you're trying to get the toy, so you're trying to seed out infiltrators in your capital city. It's a great example of that integration. I'm gonna hide over here. Now, I'm being really obvious right now. Anybody who is actively seeking out people who have converted the Legion would be able to tell I am converted, because I'm obviously hiding just out of sight of people and then running away after randomly going red. So I'm being pretty apparent here. But you'd be surprised the kind of meta stuff you can do in order to try and hide the fact that you're with them. One of the things I developed after a bit was I would kind of go roaming through here and just kind of hang out in this area for a bit. Because the general accepted philosophy is anybody who's trying to join the Legion isn't going to be in here. They'll get wrecked the moment they get revealed. And then Pax would do his reveal, and everyone would be like, oh, there's a guy over there, and then I'd do it really quick, and so forth and so on. It's a lot of fun. This is... I agree, by the way, Mind Blessed. In my opinion, this is the best launch event they've ever done. Not that exactly they have not had amazing launch events, but this one's the best. So yeah, the fact that I'm way over here, this is like a clear sign that I have joined the Legion. I'm being really obvious about it. I'm kind of hoping someone will come after me. Or that I turn into a Dreadlord. I'll accept both at this point. No, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't see me. No. 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 So I want to show off the appearance thing, too. Let's see. We'll use a Tauren. If it lets me. It might not. Ah, shoot, didn't work. Maybe it was because he was on a mount. The best stuff to buy with the shards, well, obviously you can only buy the toy. But later on you can buy gear, which is nice as well. And things to upgrade your gear, too. Okay, I need someone who's not mounted, so I can become them. Oh, here's someone who's not mounted. While I wait, I'll go and do something really risky here. 4 more stacks, Fourier. I'm working on it. Now, of course, again, I'm being really obvious, but no one's trying to anti-Legion hunt right now. When Pax and I were doing this place was packed. There were at least 100 players. That's not even an exaggeration. At least 100 players just on this little plateau here. So we were really working to have subtlety in the way we were converting people. And we actually failed several times before we really started coordinating. Okay, here we go. He's not on a mount, so this should work. Maybe? Ah, still didn't work. Weird. It was working earlier. Whatever. Join the Legion. Give in to your anger. With each passing moment, you make yourself more my servant. It is inevitable. It is your destiny. Oh yeah, by the way, in case you're curious, if you are already mounted when you get converted to the Legion, you stay mounted, but you can't do anything until you dismount. Oh crap, I think they saw me. Once you dismount, you can't remount. So you're stuck that way. Give in, Malfurion. Give in. I am referring to the pet, actually, Meter Madeira. Sorry, not the toy. Miss usage of words. And Bragwin is saying woohoo, but I'm not sure why. Two more. I haven't even had to use Vanish yet. You get one Vanish that's on... Yeah, I'm here. I'm showing them how to become a Dreadlord. You get one Vanish that's like on a 5-minute cooldown. I only need 2 more. Oh, crap. They saw me. Run! Okay, we're okay. We're okay. So far, I haven't had, like, active opposition like we did that one night. 2 more. Hey, there's some weird troll here. I think she's going in crazy. Why don't I whisper dark whispers into her brain? Give in to the Legion. Hey, yo, Dripple. And I'm gonna go hide. The take appearance thing isn't working today. I'm not sure why. Oh, crap. They saw me. They saw me! No, I'm not your enemy. I need 1 more, and then I got this. Screw it, I'm just gonna go for it.
Same spot?
Yeah, same spot. Like I said, there's been nobody in opposition, so I haven't had to pull any of the meta tricks to deceive people into the fact that I'm not joining the Legion.
Oh, look, I see the crazy troll.
Run! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, Pax! No! No! Get away, Pax! No! Get away! Altruis, Yodripple. Altruis. Okay, so you ready to see this, guys? I'm gonna feel bad about what I'm about to do.
You gotta show him the screenshot of the one we did.
Oh, I will. It was brilliant. Alright, here we go. Boing! Hey, guys! Unlimited power! Death! So yeah, you get 1 minute of this. And then you die. There's nothing you can do about it. Come on! Bring it on! Come on, players. don't know if you can see, but I have 34 million health. And you can kind of mind control people. Which is kind of cool. Where's Bragwin? Bragwin, where are you? There you are. Join the... Oh, you're dead. Crap.
Yeah, you're kind of doing huge AoE.
I'm sorry, Bragwin. I was going to mind control you. I didn't mean to kill you. Die. Duh. Yeah, I've apparently killed several players. I got my first honorable kill on this. Oh, and then I'm dead. So that's the Nethrazim thing. And joining the Legion. I'm curious how many players I just killed. Oops. Ah.
I think you should pull up that screenshot and show it off.
I'm gonna have
That's something to be proud of.
That. Hang on. Look, I didn't mean to kill Bragwin. I meant to mind control her to make her join the Legion. Hang on, let me pull up my screenshots here real quick. I accept. I'm not evil. Hi, Itchy Tasty. What's up? You're welcome, Furie. Okay, hang on. I got a bunch of screenshots from Legion stuff, so I gotta find it. Give me a sec. Wait, you don't mean the one where I went out to the edge of the universe, do you?
No, I mean the Valley of Corpses.
Oh, yeah. I actually apparently did not get a particularly good shot of that, which sucks. 21108. You mean the ones on either side of me, Metal Chancius? This is called Arcud. ARCHUD. It's a great add-on. I love it. The way it starts is someone in Orgrimmar, just randomly, it's just the server will randomly hit someone with the Dark Whispers. And then from there it can spread from player to player.
Or, I could pocket Fell Spreader.
Let me see if I can pull this up here. G. Yes, I have a G drive. I have a lot of drives. What do you want with me? Sort by date. Okay, so I do actually have a couple screenshots I'd like to show you, but first we'll show you this one. So this is not the best shot of it, unfortunately. But as you can see, there's a lot of dead people here. A few of them have been killed by horrible evilness. And multiples of Nethrazim, who are taking each other's appearance, so everyone thinks it's just the same player. It might not even be that original player. They might have just both taken the appearance of the same player. I also want to show you something else. So, the Legion servers, the WoW servers, finally got to the point where they were being DDoS'd, and so the servers were basically dying. And I say finally because this whole launch event has actually been really smooth, except when they're being DDoS'd. And I want to show you the results of that, okay? Give me just a second. I gotta do this. This is gonna take me just a moment. I'm gonna add a slideshow. Hopefully this is correct. Okay. This is the wrong screenshot to start on, but whatever. So there we go. We'll just wait 30 seconds for that to cycle over, and then I'll explain what you're looking at. Come on. Okay, here we go. So, I don't know if you can see, but there's this little yellow dot at the bottom of that screen, okay? That's my player character. I flew out to the ocean, and because the servers were dying, and then I kept flying. No fatigue, or what's it called? The yellow bar. What's that called, Pax, real quick? I can't think of it. Screw it. I'll go look for myself. Anyway, so I kept flying out there, and the camera kept getting pushed out and out and out and out. And so you can see here, this is kind of the progression. You can see my character in the middle of the screen there. Yeah, fatigue. There was no fatigue bar. So the further I got out into the ocean, and I mean I got several miles out into the ocean, like I wasn't even on the map, the further out the camera would go, until it got to the point where the camera was so far away I could just barely see my character at all. And I really wanted to document the fact that I could barely see my freaking character there. There's one more yet. Here we go. There's another one of my character just being this dinky little dot. And obviously I couldn't, you know, I didn't think to record it because I'm an idiot. But you could see me moving. I was still swimming through the ocean. And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going, until finally I reached the end of the world. The literal edge of reality, as far as WoW has actually been designed to exist. And when you get to the actual edge of reality in WoW, underwater, I was completely underwater, like a good mile and a half underwater. Oh, hang on, I'm still showing off the underwater aspect of things here. But when I finally, here, I'll just do this. Screw it. Screw it. I can fix this. I'm gonna make this way easier here. So when I finally got to the edge of reality, I saw this. Now, I don't know if you can quite tell here. There's me, of course. The camera zoomed all the way back in when I got to the edge of reality. You can see the literal edge there, where it's just no longer rendered. There's no longer any kind of anything. It's just this harsh edge to reality. And I got to the point where I got right over that edge, and as I tried to swim over it, and the closer I got to it, the slower my movement speed went. No joke. Like it was pushing me back, or my movement speed was being decreased by it, until I finally went over the edge, and that's when WoW finally crashed. Yeah, I found WoW's World Box. It took me several minutes, by the way, to get there. It took a while to get out there. To give you an idea of how far out this was, obviously the world isn't rendered out here. Like, there's no rendering of this ocean in between, but you can see where my... Can you see my mouse cursor? Right? Yes, no? Real quick. Now I gotta wait 30 seconds for Twitch delay. Okay, so you can see the mouse cursor. I was right about here. Right at the tip of the finger, right here. This is how far out I was. Way out from Ashara. I actually went out from Orgrimmar, and then had to swim all the way out to there. That's where the edge of Kalimdor is, for anybody who is curious. To give you a little bit of perspective, on how significant that is, I'm going to show you where the fatigue line is. As in the point at which you're not supposed to be able to keep going. Anyways, Yodripple, I have a video up right now called Lore Week, which has a link to all my thoughts on that matter if you want to go watch that. Should be just any second now. Right about... Oh, we should have already hit it. Oh, there it is. So here's the fatigue line. There's the shore right over there. As you can see, that's how far out I am. This is how far the game is supposed to, like... This is the point at which the game says turn back. When I'm way over here. I got way over here. If you don't understand the full significance of that again, that's basically like the full length of Ashara from one edge to the other, out into the ocean. There was no fatigue, Liquid Truth, because the servers were dying, basically. The servers were completely self-destructing, so stuff just wasn't working right. Anyways, that's all I got to share about that. I just really wanted to share that quest. I'm going to go probably hang with Pax for a bit and then crash for the night and probably get some food. GM Island doesn't actually exist anymore in the New World. It might still exist in the server files, but it is no longer a part of Old World. Although Old World technically still exists, so shrug. Anyways, I'll see you guys around.